you follow these 5 tips that I'm going to be sharing with you, then I'm sure that you're going to become profitable in the market very, very soon, right? So what are these 5 tips that I'm going to be sharing with you, right? Trading has been quite a long journey for me, right? I've learned quite a lot along the way, but I've just summarized each and everything into these 5 things so that I can maybe make your journey a little bit shorter than what mine was, right? So if you want to become a profitable trader, then the first thing that I'm going to be telling you is to have targets, because most of the times there's no strategy that's 100% perfect. Most strategies just work, right? It doesn't mean they don't have to work each and every time, but if you have targets, right, it will help you or make profit using that strategy, right? So having targets helps you. Having targets helps you reduce over trading, right? You all know that what happens if you overtrade, right? Maybe you have been profitable throughout the day with 5 entries and you've been profitable all the time, right? And that one last trade, it is enough for you to go back home, right? It will sweep your whole account, or even at least if it leaves you at break even, it will be a little bit better. But that's why you have to have targets in the market, right? So you also have to have targets because you have to avoid comparing yourself with others. You have your own targets depending on the capital that you have, depending on your trading style, right? You have to set targets that are accomplishable to you, that you are able to reach. You don't have to set targets that are way further apart from yourself, because you're comparing yourself with maybe someone who's made a $1,000, right? You want to compete with them. You don't have to compete with others. So you have to have a trading plan so that everything falls into everything that you do falls into the trading plan. You have to the types of setups, the amount that you are willing to risk, the amount of the TP per day, right? So you have to have a trading plan to make things a little bit similar for you. Then you have to be patient, right? So I just wanted to make sure that it's been good that you have been patient enough to watch till this so far, right? So if you're not patient enough in the market, then I promise you are not going to be profitable. You are going to just enter any setup, just instead of waiting for that setup to work, right? So if you've been patient enough to watch this far, then at least maybe you're a little bit better than others, because others have already clicked off the video, right? So if you are still sticking around, then I'm sure that you are patient, a little bit patient. But if you watch till the end of this video, then I'm guaranteed that you are very patient, and if you have patience, you'll be able to learn. And I promise you, and I believe in those who are patient more than someone who just has a strategy. Maybe they have 50 strategies, right? But if you are patient enough, you find the strategy that works for you and everything, right? So if you are patient, you avoid the fear of missing out, right? So you have to wait for your setup to be made, right? So let's take this for example over here, right? We've got right over here, we've got maybe we are trading zone flips, right? So this zone flip over here, right? If you are not patient enough for this setup to work, right? So maybe you just see that the market is broken out, right? And you think, maybe I'll miss out, and you enter your sell over here instead of just waiting for that zone flip to be respected, and you enter at the best possible time, right, at the best possible position where your stop loss is very slim, very small, right? So if you are just patient enough in the market, not fearing missing out, right? So that's the best thing that you'll be able to do for yourself, to be patient. You have to be learned to be patient, right? And you have to be patient enough to just stick to one strategy until you get the hang of it, right? Don't learn 50 strategies at once, guys. Don't learn 50 strategies at once. Learn one strategy at a time, right? One strategy at a time, and when you get the hang of it, when you think that you are profitable, you're able to use that strategy, then you can move on to the next strategy. Because when you're trading, you have at least some more strategies that you can, so that you'll be able to confluence, right? So that you'll be able to get more confidence in that trade, right? So right over here, we have to be, well, if you are say you are practicing zone flips this week, you have to practice zone flips. You don't have to practice zone flips, trend lines, moving averages, stochastic, MACD, everything at once. Just learn one thing at a time, and when you think you've got the hang of it, then you move on to the next. When you think you've understood, right? You don't have to learn everything in one go, right? Then for the third thing that you have to do is you have to trade with the trend. Trading with the trend is going to help you very much, guys. If you maybe have already checked your 1 hour and the 4 hour, and you know that we are in a downtrend, right? Trading with the trend helps you avoid exiting too early, right? So let's say you entered your sell over here, right? So you've entered your sell over here, right? And when you see this pullback over here, if you are scared, right, and you exit, and you see the market continue going down up until here, of course, because that's going to hit you, right? So you have to, if you're trading with the trend, you are not that much afraid of a pullback, because you know overall on the 1 hour or 4 hour time frame the market is still going down, so these pullbacks won't affect you that much. In fact, there might be even a better chances for you to enter, right? So you have to love pullbacks. You have to be normal with pullbacks. You have to get used to them, right? Though if your trade is already in profit, you have to move your stop loss in profit or at break even, so that you avoid losing money, right? Then for the fourth thing that you have to do is controlling your emotions. If you are in control of your emotions, it's going to benefit you the most, guys. You don't have to let your emotions get the better of you. Just stay in control yourself. You know what you're supposed to do. You already have your trading plan. Just follow what is in the trading plan, regardless of what you feel. Maybe you lost $100, but you don't have to make that want you to keep on over trading to recover that money, right? You just have to follow what is in your trading plan. Enter the setup that you know works. Enter the setups that you know, right? And you know what you have to do, right? Make sure that you do what you have to do, rather than just acting on your emotions and just say I'm going to overtrade until I recover that money, blah blah blah. You have to avoid being greedy, being impatient, being what's the other emotion, right? All those emotions, right? So there are many of them. I think I'll create a video on emotions, because emotions are even affect even more rather than maybe the strategy that you're using or anything like that. And then the fifth and the last thing is you're not depositing enough money. Yeah, if you're depositing enough money, then your chances of getting of holding on to the perfect setup actually are actually better, right? So let me just look for an example where this is best explained, right? So I can see a perfect example over here, right? So let's say you're entering for what, for your buys over here, right? So let's say you've entered for your buys over here when you entered for your buys when the market pulled back to the 50 moving average over here, right? Maybe you entered over here, right? If you have enough capital, right, when the market pulls back to create this W, right? If you have got enough capital, you'll be able to hold on to that trade, right? And if you have got enough capital, again, even if this trade doesn't work out, you have multiple chances of catching the next trade if it works out like this, and you hold that trade. But if you've already blown and many more chances come again and you don't have enough capital, you won't be able to make profit, right? You won't be able to enter that trade. And when you deposit that next $5 again, your first trade is going to lose again. So just wait until you have got enough capital and deposit that, so that your chances you get many. So like I like to consider them as lives, right? So if let's consider that you are playing a game, right? You've got, so that you get multiple lives for you to try again and try again and try again, rather than just having one life, and if you die, you die, right? So having a large account is going to benefit you guys, right? So if you think that there's something that I've left out, you can just comment in the comment section below. And if there's something that you want more clarification, or just leave it in the comment section down below again.